In this video, we are going to be swapping the spoilers over on the Evos from the Evo 5 wing to the Evo 6 wing and vice versa. So my car, Evo 5, obviously Evo 5 wing on it. My other car, Evo 5, Evo 6 wing on it. And I kind of prefer the look of the Evo 6 wing, so I thought, why don't I swap them over and see what's involved in doing that. I've already done a lot of the work and removed most of the foam, and to be honest, apart from the nuts and bolts, both these spoilers have been off the car and refitted a few times, I think, in their lives. So I don't know how they will be compared to OEM in terms of getting them off from the existing or factory sort of foam adhesive tape. So might be slightly different for you, might be easier, might be harder, but essentially all you need is something like this here, just like a rubber kind of edging tool that I use for doing sun strips and vinyl, and then just once you've taken the bolts off, and I'll show you the bolts in a minute, just pushing it under the edges and pulling it and pulling it and pulling it and pulling it all around the contour. And then the same on the Evo 6 wing, which is obviously simpler because it's just there, there and there. So let's get the boot lids open and let's have a look at what's involved on the underneath. Let us start with the Evo 5, which is the complicated one. Oh my God, so many nuts and washers. I had forgotten how many nuts and washers. Look at that, it is ridiculous. So you've got 1, 2, 1, 2, and then you've got 1 there, 1 in there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and then mirror, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and then if you can see them, maybe not, you've got 1 up there, obviously fiberglass boot lid, and 1 up there. Lots to remove on the Evo 5 wing, it is ridiculous. Evo 6 wing, a lot simpler. So, Evo 6 wing, how many nuts and bolts on the Evo 6 wing? That many. 4 of them. 5 of them, to be exact. 1, 2, nothing there. 3, 1 up there. 4, 5, washer. So now we've seen what is involved in removing them from the car, we just need to take them off the car completely. So we'll get the boot lids shut and we'll get the wings off, and then we'll get them swapped over, have a look at them underneath and stuff first. It's going to be easy, I think, to put the 6 wing on the 5 boot lid because that has too many holes. So there's holes going to have to be filled in there on this boot lid. But I'm selling this boot lid anyway because I've got a carbon boot lid on the way that the wing is going to go onto. So I don't really care about this boot lid, it's going to get sold. But the Evo 6 boot lid on the black car, that is going to need holes drilling to fit the 5 wing, unfortunately. But maybe I might actually just fit the spare boot lid that I have from my car, but we will see from my other car. God, it's getting confusing this. Anyway, let's crack on. So, there we go. Evo 6, Evo 5 wing. The 5 wing is lighter, but I think that is partly because of the carbon blade from Rallytech. But you can see, looking at them next to each other, that they are pretty much the same sort of height and they are the same width. But the 5 is kind of much more like that. Not sure that's coming across very well, but the 6 is more sort of raked. It kind of goes back like that. And I prefer the 6, it's more aggressive. Obviously, personal preference, but also Evos look pretty good without wings at all. Some cars do, some cars don't. It depends on the kind of spec of the car, but as you can see here, Doesn't look so bad. Black car I think looks better, but when you kind of go to the front, maybe it doesn't look so great, but maybe it does. It's a bit more stealthy. So I might not bother with the 5 wing on the black car just yet, and get the boot lid on the black car repaired, because it's had a GT wang on it at some point and somebody's removed it and sold it or something, or didn't like it. So it's got these little kind of plastic studs in here where the legs were, so it does need a tidy up anyway. So I might do that instead, but let's get the 6 wing, getting confused now, onto the silver car and then see how it looks. So I was wrong. I thought it would just drop straight on, and it doesn't, because there's 2 clips that will stop it doing it. Everything else fits the same on both boot lids apart from these bloody clips, which are here. You can see them. So I just need to drill like probably a 10mm hole out on each side for that, and then it will just drop on. Super duper, all done and dusted. It actually looks pretty good in black. Maybe that's something to keep. I don't know, I'm making this shit up as I go along now, but I will just put the silver spoiler onto the black car just to show the differences and the holes that you need to make, but I will just focus really on the silver car in this video. But already I really like this wing. It's like transformed the back of the car, but let me get it fitted properly and then let's kind of stand back and gasp in awe at how fantastic it is.
While Patchy pulls himself together, let's see how SpongeBob's party is shaping up.
Hang on. Before we get carried away, I have made a discovery. These clips at the rear here on the Evo 6 kind of legs, that just unscrews, and that's just an M6 bolt. And I've also removed the middle leg there because it was a little bit messy. So you can see it here, sat on the car. So basically what I'm going to do is not going to do it on this boot lid because there's no point, but on the carbon boot lid I'm going to put a bolt through the top, put a bolt through the bottom and a bolt through the middle. Maybe that's overkill, but then essentially that's going to then get fitted there, get bolted down. Then we're going to put the wing on, and then we can just screw these up from underneath and we are sorted. So that is the solution that I'm going to go with now. So I'm just going to make M6 holes for the time being, just to get this thing on the car, just to see how it looks. And then that's kind of it for this job. Obviously we'll get the Evo 5 one on the black car just to see how it doesn't fit. But yeah, let's just do the first thing first, shall we? Okay, there we are, Evo 6 spoiler on the car, and I have to say it's so much better than the 5 wing. I wasn't quite sure. I thought it would be better, but it's better in the flesh, to be honest, than it looks in the video. But it has kind of transformed the back end of the car. It's really made the back end of the car more aggressive now. Yeah, I'm really a little bit surprised actually at how much it's changed the look of the car. It's really, really cool. I'm really happy with that. I also like it in black, so I'm wondering whether I get it sprayed in gloss black to go with the carbon boot lid. We will see. Maybe it'll end up silver. Yeah, that is pondering things now. Let's have a look what the 5 wing looks like on the black car, purely as an exercise, just to show you the work that would need to be done to actually get the 5 spoiler mounted up on a 6 boot lid. So yes, there you go. Evo 5 wing fitted, dead good on the Evo 6 boot lid. So those holes are fine there, but as we knew anyway, a lot of the holes for this big section here need to be made and done, which I'm not going to do. But it's a bit frustrating because, as you can see, all of the mess and damage on this boot lid from the GT Wang would be hidden by the Evo 5 spoiler. So I might have a look and see if I can get an Evo 5 spoiler, see how much they are. And ahhing, as with many things. But yeah, that is it for this video. Hopefully it's been vaguely entertaining and vaguely informative as usual. You can just see here, Wang on the back. And yes, we do like this Evo 6 wing. It's looking very good. And there we go. Weirdly, it's looking quite good, silver spoiler on a black car. I think one of the fuel tanks is leaking and I'm sniffing the 85 because something is going on. Anyway, thank you for watching. And the next video, hopefully, if I've not passed out on the garage floor, will be trying to take the roll cage from this car and putting it into this car. That should be fun.